Good day and welcome to Mission Control Houston, where a team of flight controllers is watching over the activities of the Expedition 29 crew aboard the International Space Station. Commander Mike Fossum and flight engineers Satoshi Furukawa of Japan and Sergei Volkov of Russia are continuing their activities of the day, which focus on research aboard the International Space Station. Today's team here in Mission Control is being led by Flight Director Derek Hausman, with Ricky Arnold, the astronaut in charge of communicating by voice with the crew on board the space station. In addition to working with various pieces of experiment work today, the crew is also working on some general house cleaning activities, gathering trash to be stowed into the 42 Progress vehicle that's going to be undocking from the International Space Station coming up later in October, in anticipation of the arrival of the next Progress spacecraft that is scheduled to launch on the 30th of October. That undocking of Progress 42 is scheduled for Saturday, October the 29th, and we'll clear the Piers docking compartment for the arrival of the next Progress resupply vehicle. In addition, today the crew work with Mission Control to do some preparations for a bit of a combination reboost and debris avoidance maneuver. There's a small, about 4-inch or 10-centimeter piece of Russian rocket body that was launched in 1991 that is coming a little bit too close to the International Space Station for comfort. There was a reboost activity planned for next week to prepare for the arrival of the Progress 45 spacecraft. Another such maneuver is planned for the 19th or 20th of October. But because of the proximity of the debris and the upcoming reboost maneuver, the team here in Mission Control Houston coordinated with the team in the Moscow Control Center to conduct that reboost maneuver a little bit early to take care of two birds with one stone, reboosting the space station partially to get ready for that upcoming Progress arrival, and also getting it out of the way of this piece of debris that's being tracked. The Zvezda service module engines will be fired for about 2 minutes and 49 seconds today at 11:45 a.m. Central Time, and that'll reboost the space station by 4.7 kilometers or about 2.9 miles, putting it to an increased altitude and getting ready for that upcoming arrival of the Progress 45 spacecraft. Again, this is part of a small piece of an old Russian rocket body that was launched in December of 1991. And the team here on the ground in Houston and in Moscow worked together to come together with this plan as the tracking showed that it might come within the close proximity of the space station. As mentioned, though, research is, and of course, some of the preparations the crew is making on that are to close the shutters on the exterior windows for the space station, and the folks in Mission Control will be feathering the solar arrays to make sure they're in the proper position for the firing of those Zvezda service module thrusters. Among the different research facilities being worked on today were the combustion integrated rack, the fluids integrated rack, and the commercial bioprocessing system. Those various experiments continuing the almost 40 hours a week of research that's going on every week aboard the International Space Station as the assembly sequence is completed and the full utilization of the space station is underway. We do have a video clip that Mike Fossum sent down early this morning of his work with the fluids integrated rack, which looks at how fluids behave in microgravity. We'll take a quick look at that clip now.
I wanted to make sure you guys had video.
Yes, we do, Mike. We're on downlink 1.
Outstanding. Well, I wanted to welcome everybody on board the International Space Station today. I have the fluids integrated rack open right behind me. I'm going to dig in here and do a little bit of work this morning. First is changing out a camera to give us a different view or a better view, and then I'll be changing out some samples so we can get this rack up and running in the next few days. So welcome aboard, and glad to have you watching over my shoulder.
And so the fluids integrated rack is one of the two powered racks that compose the fluids and combustion facility on the International Space Station. The other rack is called the combustion integrated rack. This combined set of experiment platforms provides opportunity to look at the unique challenges of working with both fluids and flame or combustion in microgravity. The fluids integrated rack, which we're looking at here, features a large user configurable volume for experiments, and it kind of resembles a laboratory optics bench. The experiment can be built on the bench from different components, and the data acquisition and control and sensor interfaces. There's also a laser and a white light sources and advanced imaging capabilities, power, cooling, and other resources needed for a variety of different experiments. It's built to accommodate a wide range of experiments, and it focuses on the complex fluids, interfacial phenomena, dynamics and instabilities of fluids, multi-phase flows, and changes in phase of fluids. The investigations in the system range from fundamental research to technology development in support of exploration missions for NASA.